Hi everybody, this is Wesley from Creative Energy, and today I'm going to be showing you how to start up your freshwater salt system spa using liquid chlorine or household bleach. I got some right here. The first thing you need to know is if you're using household bleach, it must not contain any scents and it must not be splash free. So we're just looking for basic liquid bleach that contains sodium hypochlorite. You'll usually find concentrations somewhere between 5 and up to 12.5% at the strongest if you're using pool chlorine. Now you might be wondering if adding bleach to your spa is safe. And yes, it is okay to add bleach to the spa. Bleach in this form of sodium hypochlorite is actually the same chlorine generated by the freshwater system. So it is a great supplemental chlorine for our spa. The other reason why we're recommending liquid bleach or pool chlorine, liquid chlorine, is because it does not contain cyanuric acid, often referred to as CYA. CYA, when it reaches high levels in the water from your chlorine that you add, your dry powdered chlorine or chlorine tablets, that's going to increase your CYA, and as that gets too high, it's going to affect your spa's ability to disinfect viruses and bacteria from the water and to keep algae away. So using liquid chlorine is going to eliminate that as an issue. Okay, so this is day one of starting up your freshwater spa. You've just filled it up. If you have metals in your water or you have anything else in your water that you're concerned about, we recommend using the freshwater clean screen. This is a filter that attaches to the end of your hose. This will give you cleaner water when you fill your spa. It's good for about 10 uses, and we do recommend this on the saltwater system. Now, after your spa is full, we're going to add our recommended amount of salt. We're also going to add a cup of liquid chlorine. Depending on the size of your spa and the concentration of liquid chlorine that you have, you may need a different dosage. So we're going to start with our salt. And we'll add it right to our filter area with our jets running. And we're going to turn our diverter to the middle so that all the jets are flowing. There's a pull tab on your salt here and a measuring cup included inside. The chart on the back will tell you how much salt you need depending on how many gallons your spa is. This is a jet setter. It's about 200 gallons. So we're going to add 4.5 cups according to the chart here. We're going to follow that up with a cup of liquid chlorine. We're going to add it to the filter compartment again, and we can use our same scoop from our salt. 1 cup. And now after that, we're going to wait about 30 minutes, let the salt dissolve and the chlorine work its way around the system, and then we're going to check with our 5-way test strip. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes since we've added our salt and since we've added our cup of liquid chlorine. So now we're going to test the spa chemistry using our 5-way test strip. So we're going to dip it in, bring it right out, and we'll read it immediately. We're expecting to see a chlorine reading from the chlorine that we added, so that's normal. We need to balance out our alkalinity by either raising or lowering if necessary. And we also need to take a look at our hardness levels. And if we have to decrease our hardness, we're going to do that by using the vanishing act that comes with your saltwater package. This you will put in the spa according to the directions, and it will remove the calcium from the water. And 24 hours later, you dispose of this, and the calcium stays behind in this pillow. To test phosphates, you have a different test strip that's also included with your saltwater package, and you'll test with that strip and take your reading, and if you're above 200 parts per billion, you're going to want to use phosphate removing chemicals, which we sell at all of our showrooms, to lower your phosphates down below 200 parts per billion. Okay, so this is day number 2 with your freshwater spa. You should have your chemicals all balanced out from yesterday, but we're going to do our 5-way test strip again and test our water and make any kind of changes that we need to make. Now, what's really important here with this saltwater system is that we test our chlorine levels and shock the spa again if necessary. Now, I know this has a chlorine generator, but it takes a little bit of time and it takes a lot of cleaning of the water before this system is eventually going to take over and maintain all your daily chlorine for you. So if we are under 3 parts per million of chlorine, we're going to want to use our liquid chlorine, about half of a cup, to bring our chlorine levels up again. If we're below 1 part per million, we're going to use a full cup like we did yesterday at our startup. Okay, now we can enable our freshwater salt system by using this option here. Your controls may look a little bit different, but these principles are all the same. You can refer to your user manual for any more detailed information. But we're going to turn the salt system on by adjusting our output level right here. That's currently at level 0. When we turn it up to level 1, it's going to test our salt levels. You can also manually test the salt level by tapping the center of the icon there, or in other controls there may be a dedicated test button. If our salt levels are proper, we should have our indicator somewhere near the upper section of this circular graph. If our salt levels are low, we're going to be down here in the red, and if our salt levels are high, we'll be up here in the red. It says our salt system is okay. We're set at the level 1, which we are going to turn up higher. Now, this is going to be depending on your own usage, but in general, 5 is about average and should be able to handle about 2 people using the spa around 5 days a week. If you have more usage than that, you may want to increase that output level higher. We're also going to enable the 24-hour boost option on the controls while this system is still getting broken in here, and eventually you'll be able to maintain your chlorine levels using only the salt system without supplemental chlorine, as long as we're using the boost when necessary, before or after high usage, and have our output high enough for our expected daily usage. The last icon here is to replace your freshwater cell when prompted by the screen. That should be about every 4 months. Okay, so we're on day number 3 now. These instructions are also going to apply for day number 4, 5, 6, and so on until this spa is able to maintain a chlorine residual without needing additional chlorine. So we're going to test our spa today with our 5-way test strip and make sure everything is properly balanced, but importantly, we're looking at our chlorine levels, and if they're below 3 parts per million, we're going to add some additional chlorine using this liquid chlorine or household bleach. Again, this is 7.5% concentration of sodium hypochlorite. Your amounts may be different. So we're going to add half a cup here, since our chlorine levels are below 3 parts per million, or a full cup if we're below 1 part per million. We're going to continue this process until the spa is able to maintain a residual chlorine on its own of at least 3 parts per million. Okay, so moving forward, once we're able to establish 3 to 5 parts per million of chlorine in our spa without adding supplemental chlorine on a regular basis, our salt system is producing enough chlorine for us to maintain it on its own. So as you become more comfortable, you could start testing your chemistry less often instead of every day, and eventually work your way back to the spa's built-in 10-day timer. It will give you a message on the screen as well as a blinking logo light indicating that it's been 10 days. And on the screen it'll say test and confirm your water. You'll test with the 5-way strip as well as check your phosphate levels. And if you need to, make any adjustments. And of course, adjust your output level depending on your own needs. If you're using the spa more and you find your chlorine levels dropping over time, you want to increase your output level on the salt system. If you find your chlorine levels rising up without you adding any additional, you're going to want to decrease that output level. Also remember, if you go on vacation, you may want to turn that output level down to level 1 or 2. That's how you get started on our freshwater system using household bleach or liquid chlorine. If you have any other questions, you can contact our service department. And we hope you enjoy the spa.